Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sabahul khair habibi wa habibti safus sabi'. Sabahul nur, sabahul ful, sabahul wards. Kif hal? Alhamdulillah khair. Ayyamil an, el-an, yaumul ithnin. Itarikhal an, el-an, samaniya ashar, yanair, el-fani, wahid wa ishrun. Habibi wa habibti, meet anymore with mualimah Tuti Wardani Baku SPD with biology subject. Habibi wa habibti, hana waktu tadris. Are you ready? Naam, yallah bina nabada'un nasyat.
Taib, Habibi wa habibti, our indicator of lesson today is be able to identify the kinds of animals tissue and plants tissue. Our scientific word is tissue. 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 Kaman maror habibi wa habibti? Tissue. The meaning is jaringan.
Naam habibi wa habibti, please open your science book page on 212 until 215.
Last week we have talked about cells. The cells is the smallest unit of living things capable of carrying out all life function. The collection of cells consists of various forms which have different function. A collection of cells or a group of cells that have the same form and function is called a tissue. At this meeting, Habibi wa habibti, we will discuss about tissue. Habibi wa habibti, there are two kinds of tissue, animals tissue and plants tissue. The first, we will talk about animals tissue. Animals tissue, many kinds. Naam, the first, epitheal tissue. Epitheal tissue is the tissue that lines the surface of the body or organs, both inner and outer surface. Serve as body protector, absorbent of substance, glands, and recipients of stimuli. The shape of this tissue are flat, cubic, and cylindrical. The second, muscle tissue. Muscle tissue is a tissue composed of muscle cells and is flexible. There are three kinds of muscle tissue. Smooth muscle is found on the walls of the internal organs, example in the respiratory tract, digestion, bladder, and etc. The second, straight muscles are found in the skeleton. The next, the heart muscles is located in the heart wall. Number 3, nerve tissue. Nerve tissue is a tissue composed of nerve cells or neurons, serve to receive stimuli both from within and outside the body, process information or stimuli. Each nerve cell consists of a cell body and nerve fibers. Short nerve fibers called dendrites, which function to carry nerve impulse to the cell body. Long nerve fibers called neurites or axon that function to convey nerve impulse from the cell body to other nerve cells or parts of the body. Between one nerve cell and another nerve cells, there is a gap called a synapse. Next, fat tissue. Composed of fat cells that function as cushions found in the organs and prevent excessive hair loss. And the last, support tissue. The support tissue functions to give the body shape, protect the body, and strengthen the body. Supporting tissue is divided into several tissue. There are cartilaginous tissue, bone tissue, connective tissue, and blood and lymph tissue. The first, cartilage tissue, that cells composed of chondrine, for example, the earlobe and nostril. The second, bone tissue, composed of bone cells and calcium, which causes bone tissue to become hard. Number 3, connective tissue is a tissue that connects body parts with other body parts. For example, there are loose connective tissue such as wrapping organs in the stomach, dense connective tissue, for example, ligaments and tendons. Ligaments are connective tissue that connects the skeletal bones, while tendons are connective tissue that connects muscles and bones. Number 4, blood and lymph tissue, where the tissue is composed of blood cells mixed with fluid as plasma and is in charge of carrying out transformation and spreading substance throughout the body. Haza Habibi wa Habibti, look at the picture about the support tissue. Next, we are going to the plants tissue. The tissue in plants is divided into two, meristem tissue and permanent tissue. Meristem tissue, namely type-walled and composed of cells that are always dividing. This tissue serves for growing, found in the embryo at the end of root, stem, tip, and cambium. The second, permanent tissue, consists of several types of tissue. There are epidermis tissue, parenchyma tissue, reinforcing tissue, and transport tissue. We discuss one by one. The first, epidermis tissue, that is flat, tightly arranged, and is located on the surface of the plant body. This tissue functions as a protective tissue underneath from mechanical damage and dryness. The second, parenchyma tissue, is a basic tissue that exists among other tissue, serve as a place to store food. Parenchyma tissue in leaves contains chloroplast for photosynthesis and is divided into two. There are sponge tissue and palisade tissue. Next, reinforcing tissue. This tissue consists of collenchyma and sclerenchyma. Collenchyma is a tissue whose cell walls do thickening from cellulose. This thickening is only in the certain parts. This thickening is not evenly distributed, while the sclerenchyma tissue is a tissue whose cell wall is evenly thickened from lignin. And the last, transport tissue, is tissue as vessel that transport water and nutrients. There are two types of transport tissue. There are phloem tissue or filter tissue function to transport water and photosynthetic products from the leaves to the body. The second, the xylem tissue or wooden tissue function to transport water and mineral salts from the roots to the leaves. Tayyib Habibi wa Habibti, that's all our material for today. Next week we will continue anymore with another material. Don't forget to read your book and study hard at home. Shukran for your attention. Ila liqa. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.